Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, we are here to talk about goals. Every month, I sit down and share with you how all my goals went for the past month and all the goals that I've set up for the current month using my Cultivate What Matters power sheets. Last month, we sat down and talked about how September was a mess and how I didn't really do a whole lot in the month of September, and I was ready to refocus and re-energize in October, how I really liked doing the power sheets on the last day of the month, and I was ready for October. I think I filmed that video October like 2nd, maybe? Something like that. It was definitely that first week of October. And then that Saturday, I got engaged and everything basically went out the window. And it was amazing. Everything was exciting and different, but everything that I had planned for the month kind of went a little haywire. So you'll see, I didn't do a whole lot in October. My tending list is pretty blank, and that's okay because it was just a really exciting month. It was a really special month, and things are gonna happen. Life happens, right? And so I'm totally okay with it. And I'm excited about November. Although I'm gonna give you the heads up, we'll get to November. November is very empty because November is very busy. And I'm spending like 20 of the 30 days of November not at home. So November, it looks a little bit sparse. But let's start with October first. So the first one was doing the November tending list. I've done that, obviously. The next one was creating a 2020 overview. This has been on the list, I think, for months now. This is the second or third month that I've carried that over. I'm gonna carry it over again. You'll see that that is also on November's list. And now I feel like it's getting to the point that I really need to do it. I set up my 2020 budget spreadsheet. And so I did a little bit of an overview when it comes to travel because I had to build that into my spreadsheet. But I still want to do, again, a big 2020 overview that's got we've got weddings in 2020. Luckily so far, the two we've been invited to are both here in New York. So that's nice. Still, I want to get, again, a snapshot of what 2020 is going to look like. And I think I have nailed down how I'm going to do that. I'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to November. All right, the next two we did, the China visas and the Taj Mahal tour, because we had to get those done because the trip is like tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but very soon. The last monthly item was birthdays. And I put that down in October without checking for the fact that I had no October birthdays. Like, I didn't have any close friends or family that had birthdays in October. And so I had originally said that I was going to use it to prep for some November and December birthdays. And turns out I don't have any November birthdays either, so that was easy. And then I did a little bit of prep for December birthdays, just my twin brothers, because their birthday is at the beginning of December and I'm trying to bring their gifts in person when I'm there for Thanksgiving. So I went ahead and took care of those. So I did a little bit of the December birthdays. I didn't let myself check it off because I really didn't do that much. One of my brothers, I got him something that I ordered for myself, and I just ordered 2 of them. Okay, the weekly action items. There are no checks here. That does not mean I did not do it, okay? I did do some of these things. I just did not check them off. I was really bad this month about tracking things, and I'm 99%, well, no, yeah, I am saying it right now. I'm gonna rip out the November tending list and take it with me on vacation. I'm not taking this whole thing with me. I had a lot of recommendations to make copies, and I know that that's helpful, but I think if I take the actual thing with me, I am way more likely to actually stick to it and do it. So I think that was one of the biggest struggles in October. Not even that I was traveling all that much, but post-engagement and the show, our apartment was kind of a disaster, and I just didn't check my power sheets enough. So again, I'm gonna talk through these. It's not that I didn't do them, I just didn't track them as well. So the first one was phone-free bubble bath. I know I did that at least twice. I can think of once I did it at home, and then I did it once when we were on vacation in Dallas. So I know I did that at least twice. The walk jog 3 times a week. I know I did it a couple of times because I'm making progress on my Couch to 5K app. And by the way, I'm not sticking to it. Like, you're supposed to do it 3 times a week and then like move up as the weeks go on. I'm just clicking the next one when I go out for a run / jog / walk. So I did it a couple times. I know that, especially post engagement. I got Sam to go with me a couple of times because he was like, oh, I'm gonna be in shape for the wedding. Sam is a twig and has a great metabolism, but he's not necessarily like in shape. And then the last one for the weekly action item was the floors, which I did do a couple of times. I know I did, especially when my parents were in town. Like, I know I cleaned the floors a couple times, but again, I did not do a good job of tracking it. You'll see the phone-free bubble bath did get carried over to November. I want to keep doing that, especially I I hope our hotel rooms abroad have baths. And then the walk/jog, I'm gonna try and kind of do while I'm on vacation, but like, no, it's not really, I'm not committing to it. And then the floors, I'm gonna be gone 2.5 weeks this month, so I'm not even bothering with that. The daily action items, same thing here. Some of these I was better at, I just didn't track them as well. So the first one, checking on my power sheets. Clearly I didn't do a good job of that. I actually didn't carry this over to November, even though I'm going to try and take my tending list with me, because I don't want to feel pressure to do it while I'm on vacation. If I do check in with them because I have it with me, great. But if I don't, like, that's okay too, because I'm on vacation. So I didn't carry that over to November. I might bring that back in December. I'm definitely carrying that over to 2020. The next two were AM read and PM read. I did it a little bit. I wasn't great. I did it while we were traveling a little bit because I got really into a book, and so I was doing a good job of that. I didn't do a good job, let's put it, of reading my nonfiction book. I was reading a lot more fiction this month, and which was awesome and enjoyable, but I didn't do a good job of reading my nonfiction book that I've now been working on for like 2 months. Hoping to do a little bit of damage in that over my travels, but we will see if that holds true. I did a lot of reading of wedding magazines though. Does that count? Okay, the next daily action item was weighing in every day. And I've talked about this in a couple different videos, how I see value in weighing in every day for me. I'm the kind of person that does get motivated by a small movement on the scale, or does get motivated because I did splurge last night and I see it on the scale and it's like, eat a vegetable. However, after having a conversation with a friend of mine, I have now decided to not do that anymore, just because I probably subconsciously don't understand the negative ramifications of weighing in every day. So I am going to move that to a weekly action item in December. I'm not doing it in November just because of all the traveling, but I'm going to make it a weekly action item to check in with in December. And then the last one was to stand at my desk for 30 minutes a day. That one didn't happen either. And I am gonna try and incorporate that into like something in the future. I had a lot of great recommendations on a plan with me for setting a timer, like putting it on your calendar, a time that you stand every single day, for trying to do 1 hour on, 1 hour off every single day. That might be something I have to build up to. But again, with all the travel in November, I am not really working all that much, so it's not really a priority for November, but it is something that I want to try and do a better job of incorporating. And maybe doing it at a random 30 minutes was not the best structure for me, clearly, but that setting a certain time every day or doing the hour on, hour off might be a better structure for me. So that was October. October was just a whirlwind, and it's okay. Life happens. So now we are flipping to November. As you can see, November is very bare. There are only 3 things per category, but 3 things that I really just want to focus on getting all the check marks. Not necessarily the daily items. I'm kind of going to let myself have a little bit of leeway with that, and then maybe some of the weekly ones while I'm traveling. So who am I kidding? It's not going to be full of check marks. I don't know that there is ever a time in my life that there will be a month that I check everything off. Like, I just don't know that that's realistic. I think that's just something that I need to accept and be okay with. And there have been other months that I've been totally okay with empty spaces and not having a bunch of check marks. But for some reason recently, as soon as I fell off, I was off. Like, I just didn't even try to get back on the tracking wagon. So let's start with the encouraging words. For this month, I put just enjoy where you are now. I have always been, and I feel like this is a human nature thing. I've always been the person that's like, okay, what's next? What's coming up next? I mean, this is great. I'm happy where I'm at, but like, what's coming up next? And for the last couple of years, the what's next has always been, when are we getting engaged? When do I get to get married? When do I get to plan a wedding? That has always been the what's next. And I feel like I'm getting emotional about this. I want to enjoy it right now. I've had so many people say like, enjoy it, enjoy being engaged. This is like, hopefully the only time in your life you're gonna have this moment and this feeling. So just embrace it and enjoy it. So while yes, we do need to start wedding planning. Okay, the people that have said like, don't worry about the planning yet and just be engaged. Like, we need to start planning. We can't just like forget wedding planning. But I also just wanted that reminder to enjoy being in this moment. Like, you have been looking forward to this what's next for so long, and it's here, and enjoy it. And then the top priority I put for November is memories, because again, spending like 20 days of the month out not at home, there's gonna be a lot of memories to be had. And I want to document them. I want to remember them. I want to soak it all in. Hopefully maybe write some things down. I didn't include that in here because I didn't want to feel pressured to, but I'm hoping to do some sort of documentation. Okay, so first, similar to Cindy, if you follow Cindy and watch her Power Sheets videos, she actually posted hers before I even filmed mine. And I also had to move into the heart stickers this month because I ran out of some of the circles. She ran out of the work color. I ran out of the health color. That was the color I didn't have any more circles of. So I had to tap into the hearts because I didn't want to do like some circles and some hearts, or no health. I needed some health. So I did all hearts and it's cute. I kind of like the way it looks. They were a little bit harder to line up than the circles for whatever reason, but I got them down. So the first monthly action item is the December tending list. Same thing as always. I think putting it on the monthly action item this year has become a little bit redundant because I film these videos, so obviously the next month is happening. I think I am still gonna have a goal of working on my Power Sheets as like a goal in 2020, but I think that is gonna be broken down more into the daily check-ins as well as the monthly being all the other monthly pages. I have not been good this month, or this year rather, about doing all the extra monthly pages. I talked about this in the Power Sheets review, which by the way, totally forgot to mention that. The new versions are available and for sale, and I have a review if you haven't seen it of the new versions. I compare every single page to, was it in last year's, was it in the same place as last year's, what's new, what's different, all of that if you want to check out that video. Anyways, I think that next year the Power Sheets goal is gonna look different than just do next month's tending list, because that part I do. It's kind of making sure I do all the others and like doing the quarterly check-ins. Like, so in March, one of the goals needs to be to do the spring quarterly check-in, you know? That's the part that I kind of got lazy about this year. Next one is the 2020 overview. It has moved again to another month, but I at least have finally decided how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use one of those undated monthly Erin Condren planners and like petite planners and just pen only map out my entire year. It is just from like what is planned and be okay that that book is going to be crossed off and things are going to get moved around. I might put question marks, like things that I want to do, dates, ideas, like Sam's work trip that he could qualify for. So last year I was like, especially by mid-year, I was 95% sure that A, he was going to qualify and which trip he was going to qualify for. This year, the structure is different. I'm not gonna go into all the details because it doesn't have anything to do with these goals, but there is a very like 50-50 chance that we could not be going anywhere and it's here in New York, but there's also a very 50-50 chance that he hits the level below that, which ironically is actually going somewhere, and it's going to Austin. Literally the best case scenario, truthfully, for this year, because I'm okay allocating those 5 vacation days, because guess what? If he hits New York and we stay here, I don't have to take any time off. I'll still go to the evening events, but like I'm gonna go to work during the day. If we hit the Austin one, it'll be perfect. We can go and we can do some wedding stuff and it'll be great. But if we don't hit the Austin one, guess what? I'm still probably going to Austin to go do wedding stuff. Probably around the same time of the year. So in terms of like travel costs and vacation times, it actually doesn't matter which one he qualifies for. In terms of my schedule though, it does matter which one he qualifies for. So I'm gonna put both of them actually in the monthly overview and just put a question mark. And he might not know until like June which one we're doing. And I just have to be okay with that. But that's one of the reasons why I feel like I need to get the 2020 overview started for things like that. All right, the next one is to get started on the Christmas gift list. I am usually much better about this. I usually have at least already made this Christmas spreadsheet, like updated the one from last year, make sure everybody's there. And then I usually keep like past gifts on there as well so that I don't buy them the same thing. And then I start brainstorming ideas. Normally by now I've probably at least purchased a few things, and currently I've purchased one thing that I got for somebody in Seattle. Now, I am hoping to maybe get some cool things while we're abroad for some people as gifts, but I give a lot of gifts. I have a lot of family, and so I need to get started on the Christmas list. Okay, moving into the weekly action items. So the first one is to get caught up on some of my podcasts. I used to be really I was good about my podcast. I would maybe implement a new one every month, but I was good about keeping up with the ones that I liked and listened to, and I have not listened to them in like months, and I am way behind on all of my favorite podcasts. So I want to get caught up on that. I didn't put anything specific with this goal, which is probably breaking the rules of goals, right? You're supposed to be very specific. I just want to at least listen to one. If I listen to one, I get a check. Okay, but I want to try to listen to more. I want to try to do better about getting caught up so that by the time we get to December, I can maybe get back on the track of just like listening to the weekly episodes. Like somehow I find time to watch SVU and Grey's Anatomy every week. Why can't I keep up with my podcasts? So the next one I talked about a little bit last month because it was on, I think, September's list, and I didn't do a good job in September, and I didn't put it in October because I thought it would be a good plan activity. And that is going through the photos on my phone and deleting things and organizing them and whatnot. And that especially needs to happen now because I've taken so many random screenshots for wedding things and it needs to like get more organized. I don't really have a system. Somebody did ask like, what's the system? I don't have one. I don't have a system. Right now, I just want to make sure I delete all the extras. Like when I take a photo for Instagram, I take like 30 of like the same thing but like slightly different, and then I pick one. What I need to get better at is when after I post that picture to Instagram, I go back and delete all of the other 30 that I took of whatever that was. And so that's one of the biggest things, is going through and deleting all those extra photos that are on there, and then also organizing photos into albums. So I put that as a weekly thing because I basically have a flight a week. And so I want to spend some time, at least a little bit of time on the flight doing that. Like that's something I can do while I'm watching a movie or a show on Netflix. And then the last one is phone-free bubble bath. And the past months that I've had this on my power sheets, I have had it with a pink sticker as media. And partly this month I was like, really, are all of your weekly action items going to be media related? But then I was like, you know what? Taking a phone-free bubble bath, while it is intentional media consumption related because I'm leaving my phone out here and intentionally consuming a book and not a phone, it's also very much health related, like for my mental health. And I think that's going to be one of the things, like, so Cindy mentioned, you know, she used all her work stickers. And so she was like, well, next year, do I need to split out work into some different goals so that I don't use up all the work stickers? And so for me, since I used all the health stickers, I think there's going to be a difference between like next year between physical health, so things like eating vegetables and going to the gym, and then mental health. Things like taking a phone-free bubble bath that is a mental health, and then I'm not using up all the health stickers. Okay, the daily action items. So the first one should look familiar. This is my Apple Watch, and I had this on, I took it off, I had it on, I took it off. I'm adding it back on with a caveat. This month, I'm gonna give myself a check if I get 2 of the 3, because baby steps. Too much pressure to try and get all 3. Like I really can't do it unless I work out, and you need a rest day every now and then. Like if you have an Apple Watch, like there are people that close their rings like every single day. And my stepmom's one of those people, but she actually works out every day. Is there a way, like in your life, do you try and close your exercise ring on a rest day? Like they say it's not healthy for you to work out 7 days a week, but in order to get a perfect month, I've got to close 30 minutes of exercise minutes every single day. I don't know how to make that work. So this month I'm giving myself credit for getting 2 of the 3. The next one, this is ridiculous, is touching my planner. So if you've watched some of my plan with me's, I have been in a crazy planner funk really the past couple of months, but it was exemplified this month. And I took a break from my Erin Condren Life planner and switched to a daily petite planner. And I want to make sure that I touch a planner every single day. Now this might be a little bit silly to include while I'm traveling because, like, truthfully, like I should just enjoy traveling and not worry about touching a planner. But I want to try to, because I think that will also have me write things down and document things and whatnot. So I am going to try to touch a planner every day this month. And then the last one, I just put read. So again, with the vague goals this month, breaking all the rules of goals, I just want to read. Okay, even if it's a magazine. Okay, and that's not true. That I can't do. It's like that episode of Friends, like that the magazine, only Joanne reads magazines. If it is in the morning, if it is at night, if it is fiction, if it is nonfiction, I need to get back into my reading groove. And so any little bit of reading, I'm gonna count as reading and give myself the check. I think there is a benefit to doing very specific goals, and it does help you accomplish things. But then I also think there's a benefit to baby steps of even just 5 minutes of reading is better than 0. So I'm gonna give myself the check for that. And if I put 15 minutes of reading, if I only had 5 minutes, I'd be like, well, I'm not gonna bother. And so I wouldn't even get any reading in at all. Does that make sense? I don't know. That's just how my brain works, and that's how I'm approaching that goal for now. Okay, that's it. Those are all the things that I have planned for November. given all the travel that we're gonna do and just the holiday and family time, I mean, so we're gonna be gone, to clarify, we will be gone for almost 2 weeks. It's like 12 days total abroad for vacation and then for a wedding. And then I will be gone for a whole week, really 8 days in Texas for Thanksgiving. So 20 days out of my apartment this month. But I'm gonna do my best, and that's just gonna have to be enough. I am trying to also stay focused on this year. I think the new Power Sheets launch, and we get close to the end of the year, and it gets so hard not to just be like in 2020. And I'm definitely there. My brain is definitely already in 2020, but I'm trying not to give up on 2019 and at least do a little bit of something in the last 2 months of 2019. So let me know in the comments. Normally we do something that you accomplish in October, but with the goal of staying focused on 2019, I want you to let me know in the comments one thing you want to accomplish in the next 2 months of 2019. It can be in December, it doesn't have to be November, but just one thing that you want to make sure you do over the next 2 months to finish out the year strong. That's gonna be it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Happy planning. And let's start. I have to sneeze. Oh my God. Am I allergic to my Power Sheets? But let's start with November, not November. But let's start with so that was November. No, not November. Oh my God. Breaking all the rules of gold, and at least do a little bit something. A little bit something.